I was born in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
And still reside there today or no?
Nah, I moved to Fort Mill. It's a little town on the outside of Charlotte.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what age was that when that decision came into play?
I was like 10. I lived with my grandma till I was like 9 years old. I was too bad, so she sent me with my parents.
Okay. And grandma on mother's side or father's side?
On my mother's.
Now, how bad of a kid were you to have to move back to your parents?
Man, I used to skip class. I'll go into the nurse's office. Like, I hated going to school because, like, I wasn't, like, the swaggiest nigga in school, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was bummy. So I hand-me-down clothes, niggas used to pick on me. So I skip class, and I'll just go hide in the nurse's office. It's fucked up, but that shit happens, you know what I'm saying?
Now, why weren't you with your parents to begin with? Why were you with grandma?
That's something I really don't know. Like, before I was, I guess, aware of shit, you know what I'm saying? I just don't remember why I was there. I just know my mom wasn't there and my dad wasn't there.
And when you actually moved with your parents to that town you mentioned at 10 years old, was it a two-parent household there that you moved to?
Until I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they separated.
Yeah.
And when you were 18, were you still in school at the time or was school finished?
I was in college.
Okay.
Yeah, went there for like a semester and dropped out.
Now, do you think your parents waited to separate till you were 18 to make that decision? Did that have anything to do with that, or that was just the way life took things?
I feel like that was just their flow. Like they would separate and, you know, get back together and then I guess they got to a point where they couldn't stand each other and just, you know what I'm saying?
You reside in that town today?
Yeah, still.
Okay. Now, how far is that from North Myrtle Beach?
Shit, like 3 hours.
And is grandma still around in North Myrtle Beach?
Yes, sir.
You have other family members in
Yes,
North Myrtle
sir.
Beach
Thank
too?
God, yeah.
How often do you go back to visit? Just curious.
I ain't been back in a minute.
Okay. Now, is it a certain part of the town you currently reside in that you represent, or no?
Man, I just represent myself. That's it. Gvld. I don't really have shit. I don't know. That town never really accepted me, so, you know, I push my own wave and I make my own moves. So.
And you also said that it's outside of Charlotte, so how far from Charlotte is it?
About 15 minutes. Like, yeah, 15 minutes outside.
Now, financially, when you kind of described some of the things with your grandma, are we talking poverty?
Yeah, we was poor or something, yeah. It wasn't like that.
Financially, did things get better? Did you go to a higher class when you moved at 10 years old?
Yeah, when I moved with my parents, I wouldn't say we was stable. Like, we wasn't rich, we wasn't poor, but we got by. You know what I'm saying?
Would we say lower middle class? Would we say middle class?
Lower middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as you were growing up, did things get any better than lower middle class for you?
Not for me. Like, me and my mom, we still stay in the same place. My dad, for him, it got better. He got his own shit. He got his shit together. He did what he had to do to make that move.
Now, do you think when you were getting into trouble, the reasoning of you getting into trouble was just a boy being a boy, natural mischief, curiousness, things of that nature? Was it the poverty conditions that led to getting into trouble?
I believe it was just...
Or maybe something else?
It was just trying to, like, really just be, like, if I could say escape all the everything. Like, I mean, you go to school, you like, how old you was in 3rd grade? You know what I'm saying? Every time you go to class, niggas talk shit about you. You know what I'm saying? So who would want to be in that environment? So that makes you an angry ass person at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So you will fuck around and you do shit and you don't know why you do it. But as I got older, I understood where it came from. You know what I'm saying? It came from a lot of us black kids we don't have a lot of shit that we could, I don't know the word for the shit. Like,
take your time.
Fucking, like, if you grew up and your parents wasn't around, who do you look up to? You know what I'm saying? So you looking at, bruh, I remember when fucking Mike Jones first came out. That was my role model, nigga. I remember looking at that nigga, and I wanted to be like him. Oh, shit. I wanted to be like him, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be like all the rappers I seen, Young Jeezy. I started acting like them. I didn't have my dad, you know what I'm saying? So at that age, like, you just take in what you see. You just gonna do what you see. So I was out there, I remember, I got in trouble. I was trying to be like a little gangbanger, but that shit for the birds. That ain't for everybody. So about when I moved with my parents, my dad, he schooled me on a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? And he wasn't like, me and my dad don't got the best relationship, but I can say that he changed me when I moved with him. Moved out there with them.
So how big was gang activity in North Myrtle Beach back then?
Bro, it was like niggas in my backyard was banging blood. But they wouldn't let me in, you know what I'm saying? Cause I was a smart kid, like, yo, why you doing this? Like, I used to rap. You supposed to go somewhere else. They wouldn't let me do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I tried to get jumped in, it wouldn't happen. Like, so, you know, I just followed my own direction, got older, and I just learned, you know, you grow from shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever try to join a gang later in life after that?
Hell no, I found myself. That shit wasn't for me. Hell no, I like fucking anime and fucking riding skateboards and shit. I was too cool for that shit.
Now, when you were living with grandma, would your parents come to visit you? Would you stay in communication with them? How did that work? Before 10 years old and you moved?
Sometimes they would come, but I would just remember like how my family would make it seem. You know what I'm saying? They'll make it seem like my parents didn't care about me. So you put that in a young kid's head, he's gonna believe it. You know what I'm saying? So they would come around, but I didn't feel like it was enough for me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, I had another brother, my mom had another son, and you know what I'm saying? Like, they was living up there with them. I was in the South with my grandma. You know what I'm saying? Just doing what I did.
You said they. Who are you referencing when you said?
My mom, my dad, my little brothers, they all stayed separate from us.
No, I get that part, but you said they, I can't remember the exact words, but something to the effect of when they say your parents weren't doing anything or weren't, I forgot how you worded it, but you said something a second ago, and I was curious to see who are you referencing when you said they?
I'm gonna pass by that one right there.
Okay.
I don't want to cause any turmoil, and that's personal, but just know it was people who put into my head that my parents didn't care about me, you know what I'm saying?
I see. When it came to growing up in poverty, what do you think was the biggest obstacle you faced money-wise back then?
Shit.
You gave us a brief description, but I didn't know if there was like a specific moment.
I remember one time we went to the fucking grocery store. Full fucking cart of groceries, right? My mom had a little EBT card. Her card got declined. It was no food for like a whole fucking week until that shit got set up again. That was the most embarrassing shit. Like, just imagine being in Walmart and the lady take your card away. Like, nah, you can't afford this. Of all of your food. And you know what I'm saying? You got 3 kids. You know, so that shit, that right there what made me wanna, I had to make a change, you know what I'm saying?
What ended up happening that week to eat when you couldn't get that
we
back
went to like this church. Like, this church gave us like, you know how some church would give you like free food and stuff, so.
Like a food bank type of thing?
Yeah, we did that. It was,
Thinking back, what did you learn from that? What did you take away from that? What did that teach you? Not that moment, but just growing up in poverty conditions.
What it taught me was I can't be like none of them. I can't, and it's not, I love my family, you know what I'm saying? But I see the way those paths took them. So I had to take something different. So I changed. I made it. Here's my whole thing. My whole thing is I'm gonna change my DNA. You know what I'm saying? Like, I come from a family of fuck ups. I'm gonna be the first one who don't. You know what I'm saying? That's what that shit taught me. Like, all right, I seen the worst. I'm trying to see what the best is. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm on.
Now, because of this, and you do go into a lower middle class level of finances when you move.
Yeah.
But do you seek making money early in life?
I mean, I did at first, and then like, I just know money isn't everything. I had to get myself right. I look for myself. That's what I'm really figuring out now. I mean, money's cool and shit, you know. I'm good now. Like, I got money coming in, you know. So it's like I'm good by myself now, but still, like, I know that money wouldn't satisfy me. That's what I learned. Like, I know I had to find myself, and I'm still doing that to this day.
When did you realize that, or when was that turning point when you make that?
I can tell you the exact fucking year, 2015. After like, I know people probably like, how did this shit happen? It was the craziest fucking Shrooms trip ever. And it was like, I looked in the mirror and I was like, I didn't know who that person was. You know what I'm saying? I strayed so far from who I was, like, that shit shook me. I had to change, you know what I'm saying? And ever since that day, I've been walking in like positive energy, good vibes. I know that this life is what you leave behind. You know what I'm saying? So every time I meet a person, it's always like, what's up, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Just trying to change everything about myself is what I did. I used to doubt myself, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, bro, until I started believing in myself, I was like, this music shit, shit was stuck. Like, I was in an uncreative space in fucking college, you know what I'm saying? I'm in a dorm going to school for what somebody else told me I should do. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I realized, like, yo, when they gone, bro, I'm the only one who gonna be here. So why should I live my life to their intentions? I had to find myself, and I figured out, like, I wanna do music, but music just the first thing in. Like, this is just the first thing. Like, I got so many ideas. I want businesses. You know what I'm saying? I want schools and shit. Like, I want to make cartoons and shit, man. Like, I just got so many ideas, and that shit just brought to the perspective of how much of a person I could possibly be if I just put my mind to it, and instead of listening to what other motherfuckers said, and I just followed my own will. You know what I'm saying? Walk the path of Kyrie instead of what my mom told me or my dad told me or my grandma told me, you know what I'm saying? And I know it's a lot of niggas who go through that shit and they be afraid to break that shit, you know what I'm saying? So I took that leap. A lot of people looked at me like I was fucking crazy, you know what I'm saying? But in the end, I look at them and they did the same shit. Like, all of my cousins, I was the first one to leave school, bro. First one. They told me I was fucking stupid. Like, what are you doing? Like, you serious? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I got a head start on my life just because I did that.
You dropped out of college?
Dropped out, yeah.
What grade?
Like,
fucking freshman, sophomore.
Freshman, yeah. Freshman.
Not really a grade technically,
Yeah.
but I guess what you know specifically I meant.
Yeah, freshman. I was like finals week.
First semester, second semester.
First semester, finals week. I was like, what the fuck am I doing in this classroom, bro? And I was like, yeah, I'm out. Called my mom, like, yo, I'm dropping out. She cussed me out. And then, like, I took the consequences, had to get a job, you know what I'm saying? And honestly, I feel like that was the best decision for me.
No regrets on that?
No regrets. If I could do it, I would have dropped out of high school. Straight up.
Now, if you were able to drop out of high school, what grade are we talking specifically then, if you could have it your way?
I mean, 16. Because now I know, like, 16 is when you can really start getting your shit cracking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can make a lot of shit happen at that age, and they didn't tell us that shit. So I didn't know I could get a job at 16 back then. I was just walking, you know what I'm saying, through the bullshit. My parents wasn't on that shit. Like, go to school, nigga, get your grades up. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to push for something more than that shit. School is bullshit. And I don't want nobody to, like, follow my shit. Like, it's my path, but I feel like school teaches you how to be systematic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sit in a classroom all fucking day, listening to a person in the front of the room telling you some shit that another nigga wrote 100 years ago that you probably don't even know is fucking true. You know what I'm saying? And you following the old algorithm. It's nothing new. You're not learning something new. It's just teaching you to be the same as the rest of these niggas out here. Robots, zombies, 9-to-5 niggas. I don't want to be a 9-to-5 nigga. I got dreams.
What about somebody watching this thinking, they may see your point there, but they may see a person that sees those things that's being taught to them, and they're able to take that and say, this is what I can do different for the next 100 years to the stuff I'm being taught in whatever endeavor it is that they are.
Like I said, this is my path. You know what I'm saying? That person hopefully is bright enough to determine their own path. You know what I'm saying? Walk your own way. That's what advice I have to that person. Don't listen to me. Walk your own way. You know what I'm saying? Just carve out your own lane in this world. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not a lot of people who doing that. You look on the radio, niggas is the same. You look on TV, same reality shit. You look at life, niggas doing the same shit every fucking day, bruh. 9-to-5 every day, bruh. Like, find your shit, bruh, and walk in your purpose. That's what I say to them people, bruh. Don't let this shit hold you down. Cause this shit is bullshit, man. You gotta, and they kill your dreams at a early age. Like, you come in this world, like, you think sky really is the limit. And as you get older, they tear that shit down, like, slowly and slowly. And then when you finally get in the real world, you full of doubt. You're like, damn, this shit really, like, bruh, it's fucking crazy how they just break us down, bruh. It's wild. Like, they steal the soul from a lot of us. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like whoever listening and they feel this shit, bruh, you got your purpose, bro. You gotta walk in that path. Don't be afraid. That shit, you might feel like, oh shit, I might fuck up. It's gonna be shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you gotta push through and walk that shit. Like, push. Cause trust me, bro, if I didn't do that shit, I wouldn't have met none of these people in this room, bro. None of them. I'll still be in the same shit.
Who are the people you're referring to in this room?
My nigga Michael Harris, bro. This dude, dog, freak, bro. He believed in me. You know what I'm saying? My friend, my fucking homie, my producer, Mark, bro. I met this nigga on some crazy shit. One of his friends stole like $5 from me. I was about to fight both of these niggas. And soon found out this nigga made beats. And we just linked up. You know what I'm saying? So. And I wouldn't have did that. Like, I would have been in college. Like, I was going to school for radiology. You know what I'm saying? So after my first 2 years, I would have been in scrubs. I probably would have never seen these dudes. I just met Mo last year, 2017. Mark was, 2016? You know what I'm saying? So, and I was in college from 2014, 2015. That would have been my years. I would have graduated with an associate's. So I probably wouldn't even be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about that shit every day, bro. It really could have been a whole different layout of shit if I stuck to what somebody else told me to do instead of doing what I love.
How did you meet these two exactly?
Man, like I said, I met Mark I was smoking with one of my homies. He came through with one of his friends. His friend was on some slick shit. Tried to steal some money. He paid me to smoke a blunt with me, you know what I'm saying? Went going for that shit. I was hot with the nigga, you know what I'm saying? Then we linked up again. He was like, bro, don't have no problems with me. And after that, bro, he just started hitting me up. I dropped like an EP, like it was fucking I think the shit's trash now. I dropped the EP. Dude was like, yo, this shit's fire. I'm about to start making beats. 1 year later, this dude is fucking like insane at producing, like the craziest progression I've ever seen. And then Mike, I met him through my homie Kyle. He brought me through, I make music. So he brought me through to meet him, and he was just like, he had his own shit, you know what I'm saying? He was doing it for as long as I was. So we like met at the perfect time. Like we both was on a level where we had like our own lane, you know what I'm saying? And we just meshed together, all of us. Like.
And both was met after you had dropped out of college?
Both was met, exactly.
So none of these two actually stole $5 from you. It was the friend of one of these two.
It's friend of one of them, yeah. None of them, like, they the most trustworthy people I ever met, you know what I'm saying?
Did you ever see that person again?
No, but if I do, I ain't gonna fuck bro up over $5. I'm gonna let that shit go, but I was pissed off that night, dog. I was supposed to get guards with that shit. Backwoods, about $4.98, goddamn. Like, shit, I was trying to get some more woods.
Before we talked about these two that you mentioned, you went on a dialogue about they. You said they steal the soul out of you. You kept saying they.
Whoever runs this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoever made this up, like, this whole system is to break you down and to make you a slave. And if you don't see that shit, you gotta be blind. Straight up.
Is this system specifically we're talking about in the United States or
I feel like
the
it's
world?
Around the whole world, because the same shit happens. And then it's like, you're trapped. Like, you really are trapped in this one mind state of, I have to get a job and live this way. They never tell you could, why don't you start your own business? The first thing that come out of motherfuckers' mouths is you need to go get a job. You never tell a nigga like, yo, you could go start your own business and do the same shit and hire your own workers. You know what I'm saying? They put you in a place to where you feel like your ideas aren't good enough to make you profitable in this world. They make it seem like they're out of reach, and they do it slowly as you grow. That's what I mean.
Now, looking back, hindsight 2020, well, actually, provide me some clarification here. When you get this job after you drop out of college, was that the first time you ever got a job?
Yeah. No, actually, I was working with my pops. He owns his own business.
Okay.
Painting company, so I worked with him, and then I worked at this fireworks place, which was fucking trash. They still owe me $45. And then I fucking went to Ross, fucking wrecked the forklift. That was lit. I fucking crashed 2 times in the first 2 weeks at that fucking job. Yeah.
Now, okay, what age were you when you had the paint, working for your dad was the first time?
Yeah, he started us off early, like, as soon as I moved to Charlotte, I was like 15, 16. He would have us come to work with him. So I was making money, you know what I'm saying, but it wasn't like buku fucking bread, you know what I'm saying? It was just enough, like, you want some shoes or some shit, you get some shoes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was into games and shit, so most of that went to like Xbox and games and shit.
What was your actual role with his company?
I was a painter, full blown. Yeah, still know how to do that shit.
And because you're working for the family business, so to speak, in that aspect, were there other painters that weren't family working for him or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most people, you had a weird cast of motherfuckers come through that shit.
So the reason why I ask is because your family, these other people are not, does he treat you differently than non-family member employees? Does he take it easier on you? Does he take it harder on you?
Dog, when they say family and business don't really mix, leave it like that. Like, we came to an agreement now, you know what I'm saying? But at the beginning, it'll be like, you know, he tried to hold your bread or some shit. Like, you can wait. Like, no, nigga, I can't wait. Like, yeah, it was on some shit like that sometimes. But, you know, he did what he had to do, you know. So I ain't mad at him.
But does he take it easy on you or hard on you compared to the other employees?
Hard on us. Yeah, he went hard on us. Like, nah, my dad always was like, you gonna make something out yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you don't go to college, you know what I'm saying? You gonna make something out yourself.
What about, what was your role with the other two jobs? Ross, and you said something else.
Fucking Phantom, I was stocking fireworks.
Okay, the fireworks place.
Yeah, and then Ross, I was fucking loading trucks in the fucking summertime. That shit was fucking hell. If you ever, nigga, never do a warehouse job in fucking summertime. That shit is hell, bro. You'll fucking, nah, that shit for the birds, for real.
My next question was going to be, were any of these jobs tough? I'm assuming that job right there, how you described it, was probably that answer.
That shit was hell. Be hot as fuck in them trucks, about to pass out.
Was that a dangerous job in the sense because of the heat, or was there other dangers there with that job?
It was other dangers, like, I drove like forklifts and shit, like, you get fucked up. Like, if you, you could die if you work there, so yeah, it's very dangerous shit going on. But that wasn't until I was older than like 18, so you know what I'm saying. I didn't have a job. I worked with my dad till I graduated high school. And then when I dropped out, that's when I was like, all right, I gotta find something real.
Where was the shroom trip in the midst of all this? I know you said 2015, but because we've kind of set a history here, where does the shroom trip come in where you realize it's not about the money, it's about something else?
It was like crazy shit.
Because you had the painting gig, then you had the fireworks stuff, and you had the Ross gig, and then between the painting and the fireworks at Ross, you drop out of college.
Yeah, this happened like, fuck, when was it? It was like right after I got out of high school, and I had already dropped out, so it was like January of 2015, yeah, 2015, January 2015. I remember I didn't eat shit that day, and I was at the house with my parents, and I fucking ate like these shrooms the homie gave me, and it was fucking lit. But you learn shit from shit like that. I totally look at them, I don't look at shrooms as a drug, I look at it as a teacher now. It really is something that you fucking like, you only take that shit if you're trying to learn some shit. Like, I feel like that's a high regard. That should be something that should be medically used, all types of shit, because it changed a lot of shit about me. Like self-esteem, depression, anxiety. Like, I lost a lot of that shit after I came through that. And I seen myself growing into who I wanted to be. And a lot of people don't tell you that shit. They'll talk shit about it, but they never tried it. But being somebody who done that shit and just seeing how my life gradually changed and how I just started becoming, like, if you met me probably 2015, bro, I was a shithead. I wasn't like, I was a dickhead, bro. That shit changed me. So, you know, way more humble, you know, chill, you know, I'm just trying to make my own way through this world.
Was that your first time on shrooms when that happened?
It was like the second time. It was like, because I took them one time with friends and it was fun, so I'm thinking it's going to be the same shit, and it wasn't. So yeah, that was like the second time, but I don't do that no more, really.
You don't do shrooms anymore?
No, I took them like one time this year, but I see myself doing them again in the future probably. When I base it off of basically your time of the year. Like, I like more taking them in the springtime because you're outside, you can be outside and shit, and just it's beautiful when you on shrooms. You just chill outside. Don't do drugs, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Now,
don't do drugs, but it's pretty cool. That's a contradiction like fuck. Oh, man.
Do you want to change the statement there at all?
Nah, leave that in. That's funny. You keep that in there.
No, I wasn't going to edit anything, but I mean, do you retract that statement?
Not really. Not really, yeah.
Now, I want to ask, a few things here. We were talking about the job situation, and I asked you if that was the toughest, and you said yes. Sorry, I have so many notes here. In regards to jobs, okay, there was a moment when you said you had crashed the, I forgot what machine it was that you were...
Yeah, forklift.
The forklift,
Yeah.
okay. You had crashed twice.
2 times.
Can you explain?
Man, I just didn't know how to drive that shit. I was flying like that shit was like a little go-kart. You know, you ride around like, it was just bullshit. You know, bullshitting through the warehouse. You just ride around on the bitches all day. And I fucked around, was turning too fucking close and just, like, I fucked up some merchandise they had. That was pretty cool today.
But do you get reprimanded after that? Do you get a pay? Does it get deducted from your paycheck? How does
I got fired.
After the first time?
No, that was the second time. The first time was like a little, like I ran into the truck. That was like bullshit. But when I fucked up that shit, they was like, you gotta go. They got rid of me after that, yeah.
How far apart were both accidents?
Dog, it was literally like the first 2-3 weeks, bro. Like, it was bad. I knew that shit wasn't for me.
But the first time, do they reprimand you some kind of way?
Yeah, you get a write-up.
Okay,
you get one write-up. That's it. Second time, like, I'm pretty sure you would have got another write-up, but they was just tired of my ass, so.
Now, aside from that, the incident with the forklift, any crazy stories dealing with any 3 jobs, or was that the craziest thing that happened out of the norm for you?
I remember when I was working with my dad and this dude tried to come steal some paint tools from us. And my fucking granddad fucking hopped in the car and chased this nigga down the street with a fucking roller. It was funny as shit. That was funny shit. It was funny days at that shit, working with my pops. It was like working with fam all day.
They ended up getting the tools back?
Honestly, I don't fucking know. That nigga dipped. So all I remember is they hopped in the car, chased this dude, they came back, and they was talking shit about him, so I guess they didn't, but yeah.
Do you remember how this person tried to steal this stuff?
All I remember was I was in the house, and they said somebody came in the garage. It was like, just looking through shit. So I come out, and I just see them all hop in the car and just pull off. So I'm just like, what the fuck? Listening to music and shit. That's it.
If you could, would you ever consider owning a paint company?
Of course, bro. That's money. Like, bro, I want any company, bro. Any business, dog. Give me whatever.
And this is interesting here because there was a moment when you had talked about they, and you were talking about they don't say, you can start your own business and this, that, and the third, and you kind of went on a dialogue about that. But here you are, the child of a father that has their own business. But
it took him a minute. You know what I'm saying? He was stuck in the same mind state too.
Oh.
So it was like he started his business. He came from like Southport, North Carolina. He was my dad was in the streets. He was telling me stories all the time. He was a felon. So he had to find another way. He was the one who put me onto the shit. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, I had a father who was smart enough to figure out his way and get his business license and to do it his own way. You know what I'm saying? So that was some real shit.
I wanted to jump back because I had jotted down some notes while I'm, conducting this interview. I wanted to just jot back on a thought here. When it came to the time of poverty that you experienced, and I remember you said you would go to school and maybe you didn't have certain clothes or whatever. Did you ever attend a school that had school uniforms?
Nah, never.
Do you think school uniforms would have
changed it?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like it's less of, I feel like a lot of times kids go to school with getting picked on because of their parents shit. You know what I'm saying? Their parents can't provide for the kids, so they get the fault of that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like uniforms really take that out of there. Like, there, you don't have to worry about that shit. But honestly, man, like as I got older, it's like it don't really matter. Like that shit was for the birds. Like I don't even wear like fancy ass clothes. That shit's trash.
And in regards to poverty, because you have experienced that at one point in your life, let's say somebody's watching this and they're experiencing some sort of poverty themselves in those type of conditions. Circumstances could be different for everybody, but is there anything you would say to somebody that's going through those motions and living in that type of environment there?
Like my age, like 23, or
you know
like
what?
younger,
I would just say, I wouldn't even put
saying?
an age to it. I would just say somebody watching this, because I don't know what age of somebody could be watching this, but maybe they're in poverty conditions right now and listening to your story and listening to your past. Anything you would say to somebody going through that themselves?
Say go to the drawing board, bro. You gotta make a move. Like, it's easy to sit there and wallow in sorrow, bro. It's easy to sit there and not do shit. Like, you gotta go make your own way out of this shit. And if you young and you going through that shit, man, look, fuck them niggas. Honestly, bro, if they talking shit about you, bro, it's because you probably got a glow that they can't understand still. You know what I'm saying? They talk shit about me, bro, but nigga, I'm glowing. Like, I knew I had some shit inside of me. And if I know anything, bro, like, just keep pushing, bro. Life get better. You know what I'm saying?
When you did get into trouble before you moved to North Carolina, things got physical with the trouble? Like, were you getting into fights and things of that nature?
Yeah, I was getting into fights. Like, one home, did I get in trouble for bringing a knife to school? Nah, but I did get in trouble for waving a red bandana around, and the fucking police came and fucking had a whole intervention with me and shit, and I was like, still not listening to this nigga. They did that shit. I got in like 3 fights. Yeah, I was bad, just misunderstood. That's it.
The fights came from defending yourself?
Defending, yeah, hell yeah. Like, at a point, like, I just got tired, like, you not finna, bro. I started putting the beats on niggas. After like 6th grade, yeah.
How'd you learn how to fight?
Man, my cousin used to fight all the time. All the time, bro. I was just, like, I have a temper, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a very passive dude, but I have a temper. And as a kid, I didn't know how to control that. So, I'll blow up. Like, when I was young, I wouldn't blow up on the kids who would talk shit to me. I'll be blowing up on teachers and all that shit. And as I got older, it was like, I remember this one kid, like, he called me the N-word. Bro, when I told you I beat the shit out of this nigga, bro, like, I blacked out and beat the shit out of this dude, like, that was when I realized, like, I can't be beating people up like this. That showed me, like, that scared me. Like, as a kid, like, just seeing that I could do that to a person, and, like, at least my cousin, you know what I'm saying, he used to beat my ass, bro, but I appreciate that. I got hands, too. So, fighting at a young age, that shit, yeah, bro. But anybody fought with their cousins, you know what I'm saying? You gonna learn to fight from that shit.
You didn't get into trouble like that when you moved, after you moved?
After I moved, I got in like one more fight, and then I was like, yeah, this shit not it. You know what I'm saying? That's when I cooled down and that's when I found music, actually. That's when I started writing. Cause I remember, like, I wrote to Chapter 6 by Kendrick Lamar. That was the first song I ever wrote to. And it was like after I got into actually I stole this iPod and I got suspended and I wrote a rhyme about my fucking principal. Like, I spazzed on that nigga and I gave it to my mom. I still got my ass whooped because I was cussing in the rap and everything. When I found music, man, that took a lot of that anger out.
And what age or what grade was that when music came into play?
I'd say 8th in 9th grade, like the transition from junior high to high school, I started writing music. My dad had music around the house and shit. Like, he had an ASR. I used to make beats on that shit. But I ain't never take it serious, you know what I'm saying? And once I started putting my mind to the shit and I just started calming down. Like, I started using it as like therapy. You know what I'm saying? Right now I feel, and that shit works, you know what I'm saying?